Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we have a game on Sunday. Today is Friday. We are almost there. We're at the home stretch. The 49ers have a rivalry game against the LA Rams. Are you ready? I feel ready. How's everybody doing? Throwback. What's up, my man? How is everybody feeling? We have a game on Sunday. Sunday. It's the LA Rams. Are you guys worried about this one? Are you guys think it's a must win? We're going to talk about it. How's the vibes everybody's feeling? Does everybody feel like this is an easy win? We're going to talk all about it. I kind of feel a little uneasy entering Sunday. I feel like everybody's picking against the Rams. Everybody's picking the Niners. I don't like being the favorite. I like to be the underdog. Everybody's picking the Niners. Everybody's saying they should waltz over them. 49ers are wearing red. We're wearing red today. We're wearing red on the road. Like it's a home game. We know how much the fans are talking. It says Levi's South. It's a invasion of SoFi Stadium. Paint the town red. All that jazz. And everybody talks about how the 49ers, they own the Rams. It's Levi's South. Like you know how everything's been going this week. But I kind of feel a little part of me feels like there's a lot that could go wrong on this game. I don't know. You just get this weird vibe. And then the 8 straight, regular season wins. I don't know. I think the Niners will win this game, but just one of those weird games. But we'll see. Raphael says this is the year the 49ers are taking care of business. And they got to take care of business this Sunday against the Rams. The Rams are not easy. It's a division game. And I feel like last week, nobody gave them a chance to beat the Seattle Seahawks, and they beat the Seattle Seahawks, right? So we have to kind of temper our expectations. And I don't want to sit here and say we're going to dog walk the Rams because it is a division game. And you know how division games are. Division games are intense. They could go either way. You throw the record out the window. And that's just how it goes. Sometimes the Rams, they pretty much own the Seahawks. The Niners have owned the Rams, except in the NFC Championship wouldn't matter. So we'll see. Susan says, I'm with you. Debtopia says, what's your prediction? Well, let's talk all about it. So the 49ers, they're coming off a mollywop, right? They crushed the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Rams are coming off an impressive win against the Seattle Seahawks, where everybody thought the Seahawks were going to be the top 2 team in the NFC West. They might still be. It's still only week 1. But a lot of people are thinking the Seahawks were going to make a deep playoff run, all that good stuff. And, it's interesting because everybody picked the Rams to maybe win 6 games this season. Like, nobody expected the Rams to do anything this year. And they came out and they beat the Seahawks. So there's a few things we got to talk about. There's is Brandon Ayuk going to continue to tear it up? Is Brandon Ayuk going to continue where he left off week 1? He was the NFC player of the week, right? We got Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, right? We're going to talk all about those guys. Who's going to cover these receivers? Although they don't have Cooper Kupp, Puka Nakau, he's questionable for the game. Tutu Atwell played really good last week for the Rams, but they're also not at full strength without Cooper Kupp. So we'll see. I got a guest coming in. We're going to let the guest hop in. It's my boy Travis. Let's get him in here. What's up, big Travis? How we doing, man?
What's up, Raj? Can you hear me?
What's up? I can hear you loud and clear. Can the Niner fans hear you? Let's see. I can hear you good.
Did you hear too much background noise? I could walk away. I'm actually at the Gold Bar right now. The soft opening right now.
Nice. Gold Bar. Say what's up to the boys out there at Gold Bar. Let's go. Pretty dope.
Let me know if it's too loud. I can move away. Okay, cool.
No, we're good. So we got the Rams this weekend. Are you going to be at the Rams at the Levi South this weekend?
No, I think I'm gonna stay home. My girlfriend's trying to talk me into going, but I think I'm just gonna. I think I'm just gonna stay home and sit in my king throne and kick my feet up and enjoy it from the couch.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna enjoy the weekend and watch the game from home, but I'll be at the home opener against the Giants. But what do you expect? What do you think about this game coming up Sunday again? Rams, Niners, the invasion. They're going to wear red jerseys there. It's crazy. The vibe's going to be insane. We know how the 49ers always take over SoFi Stadium. But what are your thoughts? How do you see this game going down? Give me a prediction, Travis.
I love that we're disrespecting them so much that we're wearing our home jerseys. First of all, I think that's absolutely amazing. I hope it doesn't give their players a little extra incentive to. I mean, it's already going to be a crazy game, Niners and Rams, a big rivalry. But you know what I mean by sometimes players have extra incentives when they feel a little bit of disrespect. But I think they overachieved last week against the Seahawks. I don't think that's going to happen 2 weeks in a row. The Rams are not really that good in my personal opinion. The Niners are a complete team. I expect it to be a game won in the trenches, and I think the Niners are for sure gonna cover our what is it? What's the cover? -7?
Yeah, 7 point spread.
Yeah, we should cover that.
Okay, okay. So what you got for a final score?
Probably. Well, we averaged 30 points with Brock, so I'm gonna say 32 to 17.
32-17. I like that. Yeah, I do want to say though that like you said, you don't want to give these players extra incentive because it's a rivalry game. They're going to have incentives going into it, but I kind of do feel that disrespect coming in might piss them off. Give them a little bulletin board material. So we'll see. You know how the Niner fans always disrespect them, anyways. Again, the Niners got to win this game because if you walk into another stadium with your home jerseys, you gotta get this dub, man, because they're not going to let the Niners down if they walk in with the home jersey. So, with that being said, I agree though. I think the Niners handle them. They're too good on both sides of the ball. The one guy I'm a little worried about, maybe not one guy, but the one side, is that right side of the O line, Spencer Burford, Colton McKivitz. We got to hold up, man. They got to hold up because they don't have Dan Brunskill walking through that door anymore. And Aaron Donald is still Aaron Donald. They got to be able to neutralize Aaron Donald. He's tough, man. But I, I feel
Absolutely.
I feel that Debo Samuel is gonna go crazy against the
You
Rams.
know,
He always.
yeah. He doesn't have Jalen Ramsey to pick on anymore, though.
I know I'm gonna miss Ramsey. I like seeing Ramsey because Debo always got under his skin and it made him like so frustrated. I love seeing it.
What's the Rams DB room looking like without Ramsey?
Their
I'm
number
assuming that
one
means they
DB,
downgraded, right?
yeah, they downgraded. Their number one DB is Akello Witherspoon. Yeah,
Uh,
former.
we yeah, we know that name. Well, then it looks like maybe the Niners just might use some more blocking with their running backs and just air it out since their secondary is not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, I mean they definitely took a step down without Ramsey. But Ramsey gave Debo this like you could tell like he wanted to play better. He wanted to go out there and dominate Ramsey. He was an all pro. So it kind of pushed Debo. But Akello, he's got no love lost. He said a lot of stuff when he left the Niners. So this is gonna be like a revenge game for Akello. He's not gonna come out lightly, but I think Debo and Ayuk are gonna give him the business.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been saying this since the beginning of training camp. Ayuk reminds me of Devonta Adams in his third year, which is absolutely disgusting. And people think I'm tripping when I make that comparison, but Ayuk is on another level right now, and we all know what Debo can do, so there's no need to panic or worry about his lack of involvement last week. But when the two of them get going at the same time, yeah, that's going to be disgusting.
That's scary, man. It is absolutely scary to think of Debo fully healthy now this year and back in shape with Brent on contract here. It's definitely scary, man. And you saw what Ayuk can do full steam last week. And I agree. I remember people had said that about Ayuk that they compare him to Devontae and stuff, and he says, you know what, I love the flag, but I'm me, I'm
Yeah,
myself, I'm Brandon. Like I remember that quote too. I was like, oh man, he's on another level. He's
he
definitely on
is. He's great.
another, he's the man. Akello or Brandon Ayuk's the man. I want to go back to cornerback. So I looked up their roster. So Akello Witherspoon's their cornerback. They also have Darion Kendrick and Kobe Durant. So a bunch of guys that are definitely downgrades from Jalen Ramsey. 49ers might go ahead and smash him in the receiving room. So it's gonna be fun. I think the offense might go crazy Sunday.
Yeah, it's all. I mean, divisional games are always tough, though. You know how that is. They're always tighter than they're supposed to be. But Brock looks like he hasn't missed a step one bit, which is absolutely mind blowing coming off that injury.
Mm,
And uh, I I've said this time and time again. When I watch Brock play, I don't get that like that gut wrenching feeling in my gut every time he goes to throw the ball, like I did with Jimmy. No disrespect to Jimmy, but I feel confident in Brock's capabilities, his vision, the little nuances that he has when the pressure's coming in. He's the guy. He's that guy. He's him.
yeah, he is. He absolutely is. The players love. You see Kyle Shanahan like hug it like Kyle absolutely loves Brock Purdy. He found his guy and he hasn't missed a beat, man. It's insane how good he's been able to come back from this injury. It's a big injury and he's coming back, hasn't missed the offense, 30 points, week one. It's impressive to me. And Brock Purdy has that like that it factor, and offense is fun. And to me, it's just nice not having a huge controversy. And like you said, man, you feel safe when he's out there. You don't feel like there's going to be a big mistake.
Nah, he throws the ball. I feel like it's gonna go to where he meant for it to go, and I trust his reads. And so
Yeah,
it there's just a load of confidence when Brock is playing, and it's as a 49er fan with so much quarterback controversy over how many years now. God, it's refreshing to have some faith in a quarterback finally.
absolutely refreshing. Like that's the best thing. I wake up every day. I'm like, I don't have to fight on the timeline about quarterbacks now. It's like, oh, you wake up, Brock,
Yeah,
and it's just like, man, he's our quarterback. He's the guy. They just hope and pray that he can stay healthy, man, because I think he's only going to get better. He's going to get top 10, top five quarterback. Continue to play at this level, man. It's just fun to watch. It's so fun, because the quarterback position is one position we've been missing over the years. So nice.
yeah, 100% agree. How you feeling about the? I mean, I know it's only been two games for the Eagles and one game for the Cowboys, but I the Eagles don't look as good as they did last year. I mean, they lost both their offensive and defensive coordinator. I mean, they're still 2-0, but they just don't look like the same Eagles. And the Cowboys' offense still just looks mediocre. It's only their defense that is a threat, in my opinion. The Niners are so well rounded on all three phases of the ball that I just don't see. I mean, it's still early in the season, but I just feel like the Niners are just so far more superior than anybody else in the NFC.
Oh, I agree. I agree. I think both complete team, top to bottom, defense, offense. Now, I will say the Cowboys defense looks pretty damn good. I'm not gonna, they crushed the Giants. But my question is, how bad are the Giants? Oh, what's the deal with them? We'll find out next week. We'll see what the deal is with the Giants are. The Eagles, yeah, they're not as hot as they were last year when they opened the season. Like they were blistering all cylinders, but they're 2-0, and I think the key, like you said, is they changed their coordinators. It's going to take a little bit of time, yes, but hey, still 2-0. They definitely need some kinks to be worked out. The defense doesn't look as stout, and their O line doesn't look as strong, although it's still pretty damn good. We'll see. We'll see. Week 13, when we play, that's a whole couple months. A lot of things can change, but you're right. I agree with you. They don't look as dominant as they did early in the season last year. But again, times can change. We'll see what happens. But the 49ers look unbeatable right now. We'll see how they.
Are you gonna go to that game in Philly?
I want to go to that game in Philly, man, but I don't know. I might not, and I might not come back alive if I go to that game in Philly.
Nah, it's crazy because people have been asking me if I'm gonna go. I said, and I've been saying, I feel like if I go, I'm gonna go to jail.
Yeah, the same jail or the grave. Something's gonna back.
If someone's throwing eggs at me, oh my god, I'm throwing hands.
I'm gonna go down swinging, man. I know. I'm a little stressed out about that one. I don't know. I do want to go to a couple. I'm gonna go to. I might be heading to Arizona. That'll be a
Ooh,
yeah.
I might be there. I might be performing at that invasion.
Okay, okay. I know you got some performances lined up this weekend. Tell the Niner fans what's up. What's the deal?
So October 7th, which is the day before we play the Cowboys, the Cowgirls. I'm throwing an event at the Bay Winona Casino. at Province. It's a restaurant. It's a full restaurant, full bar, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m., all ages. It's free to get in. I have Frank Gore and Merton Hanks signing autographs. I'm going to do a live performance, and I haven't announced it yet, but Stunning Man 02 and Showbanga will also be there performing Big Steppin'.
Let's go.
49ers with me, yeah, we are big repping, and yeah, so I'm going to announce that this upcoming week, but it's going to be probably the biggest 49er fan event in history, bro. It's going to be
You know,
absolutely nuts.
I mean, Frank Gore and Merton Hanks, that's well worth the show right there. But then plus everything else, man, that's gonna be sweet. So that's
Yeah.
gonna be dope,
Yeah, and
man.
it's free, and it's going to be free to get in. So,
Free. You can't beat that. You can't beat.
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna
So
check.
that I'm doing that, and then the Niners are talking to me about doing an invasion or two. I'm probably only gonna do one this year, but there might be two. We'll see. But I did a poll on my Instagram and TikTok which one I should do, and it was basically a landslide vote for Arizona. So I'm thinking I might do that one.
Might be the one. That might. I think that's gonna be a.
Well, Arizona got ripped off last year. Their home game was uh, in Mexico.
Oh
So
yeah. Hey, but we
the
got
Niners.
ripped off a couple years back when we didn't have a stadium.
Yeah, true, but at least we have home Niner games. The Niner fans in Arizona, they haven't been able to see a Niner game in person for almost 2 years now. So,
Yeah, that's true. That's so. This will be big. Yeah, you're right. This is like the first Niner game in Arizona in a minute. So
yeah, yep.
well, we'll see, man. Well, I'm not gonna hold you too long. This is Gold Bar in the back. Shout out to Gold Bar whiskey. Enjoy the rest of your night. Let's get this done on Sunday, my
Yeah,
get it.
yep. Let's go Niners. All right,
Or
Ross, thanks for having me, bro.
yeah,
I
no doubt.
appreciate you.
Tell all the folks
Talk.
at Gold Bar I said what's up, man.
Okay, we'll do. All right, bro.
All
Peace.
right, yeah. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my man Travis King checking in. I invited a bunch of people. Hopefully they show up. We'll see. You know, we want to do a prediction show. So Travis has the 49ers winning, of course, 32-17. So what do you guys think? I want you guys to drop your um, predictions for the game, and then let's talk about it. So Mario says this is Purdy's first game against the Rams. This is Brock Purdy's first game against the Rams. Can you believe that? Brock Purdy never played the Rams before. And it's interesting because this is the first time in NFL history, actually crazy, the first time in NFL history that the first pick of the NFL draft plays against the last pick in the NFL draft, at quarterback versus quarterback. Matt Stafford was the first pick in the draft several years ago, and Brock Purdy was the last pick of the draft last year. That is some history. Pretty good. That's pretty cool. It's monumental. I think that's going to happen a few more times this year with Brock Purdy. I think with the Baker Mayfield, and I think with Trevor Lawrence, it's going to happen several times. But this is the first time it's ever happened. First pick versus last pick in the draft. That's crazy. That's so cool. Brock Purdy just sets it all these damn cool records. These cool historical landmarks. These moments. Historical moments. Brock Purdy is historical. I can't wait. Throwback. I can't either. So Brock Purdy also grew up a Cards fan, so he knows it's a rivalry. He does. He knows the rivalry very well. Key says 31-14 Niners. Raphael says 31-13 Niners. Debtopia says 42-17. That's a beatdown. Mario says 27-14. I like these. You guys are all predicting a beatdown. A beatdown on the Rams. We all want a beatdown. I think I'm going to be a little closer than you guys. But I have maybe not. I have the 49ers going 33. I'm going to score 33 points. And the Rams are going to score 13 points. 33-13. A 20-point win. 33-13. That's my final score. 49ers offense is chugging along. This defense is just amazing. I think they're going to get even better. And the 49ers, right, they're playing against a team that doesn't have their number one receiver. The other guy, Tutu Atwell, he's questionable. Or not Tutu Atwell, but Puka Nacua, who was the sleeper, stream pick in fantasy last week. He's got an injury he's dealing with. He'll play most likely. He's questionable. But then you got Tutu Atwell. Like, I just don't see the offense of the Rams having enough firepower to keep up with the 49ers. I just don't see them having enough firepower. You got Debo, you got Brandon Ayuk, you got Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle. These guys are all dogs, man. So many good players, so much talent on this roster. And then Hargrave. Bosa finally practiced this week. His first full week of practice this year. You know he's gonna be coming for blood. Arik Armstead is gonna go crazy with Hargrave. They're gonna continue to get better. Let's talk about Drake Jackson, man. Drake Jackson, gentlemen, had 3 sacks last week, and I think he's only gonna get better and better and better. Raphael says pick 6 by Hufanga. You think Hufanga gets another pick 6? I hope he. Oh God, I would love it. Now let's talk about this. The 49ers have had a pick 6 in each one of the last 4 years against the Rams. Can you believe that? Can they continue the streak? This is the streak that matters to me. You had Javon Kinlaw get an interception a couple years back. You had Fred Warner get a pick a couple years back. You remember that play, the Fred Warner interception, put him on the map. That's when I knew he was good, but that play right there is when he became all pro Fred. Like, that was the moment. It was like, wow, okay, this is the guy. He's him. He read it like a book. And then Jimmy Ward had a pick 6, you remember? Big Jimmy Ward, he had the pick 6. And then Talanoa Hufanga had a pick 6 last year. That's unbelievable, man. Fred Warner and Hufanga. PHX says, keep grinding. Appreciate you, man. I love you. Thank you for that. Steven says, Bosa or Drake Jackson gets a pick 6. Could you imagine if Nick Bosa gets a pick 6? Oh my God, that would be crazy. That would be crazy. Oh man, I can't believe that. Yeah, Beast Mode, don't remind us. He says Tart didn't have the pick. Jaquaski Tart, my boy, this man. I think Talanoa Hufanga already has more career interceptions than Tart had in his whole 7-year career. Tart played 7 years. Hufanga's in it. He's just started his 3rd year, and he already has more interceptions than Jaquaski Tart. It's I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. Anthony says 44-24 Niners. I love that score. 44 points. I don't know about 24. Like, I feel like the 49ers defense is not going to allow that many points. Like, this defense is good. The only thing that I could see screwing them up is that secondary because, Sam Womack's hurt, so now you're going to be playing musical corners a little bit more. I do want them to call up Quantrez Knight. I kind of like Quantrez Knight. I think he might be a sleeper. If they can pull up Quantrez Knight tomorrow, I'm going to be excited. I like that guy. Throwback says nobody wants to sign Tart. They don't want to touch him with a 10-foot pole, my boy. Peter Parker, my man, he says Rams ain't touching a 20-piece on us. I agree. I don't think that the Rams can score 20 points on the Niners defense. I don't think a lot of teams can. My man Peter Parker says, what's up, everyone? He says, I was just sitting here like, damn, Roger's going to go live. Then I jumped on YouTube. Yeah, we got to do the YouTube stuff. We got to build the YouTube, Peter Parker. So we got to stay consistent. We do the Friday shows like we always have on YouTube. I'm trying to lock in this time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific every Friday. I think this is the best slot for me on Fridays because this is the time I'm finally home. So let's try to make this time consistent time. Fridays, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, the prime time slot. This is when we're going to do our prediction shows on Friday. So Swaggy 6 says CMC or Debo touchdown pass to Ayuk. Actually, this was my prediction, my bold prediction of the week. I want to hear your guys' bold predictions, but I actually have Brandon Ayuk throwing a touchdown. Listen, Kyle Shanahan is in his bag against this Rams team. Like, okay, a couple years back, Deebo Samuel throws a touchdown to Juwan Jennings, right? Last year, Christian McCaffrey throws a touchdown to Brandon Ayuk. This year, Brandon Ayuk's going to throw a touchdown to Deebo Samuel. Just mark my words. Maybe Kittle, but I think it's going to be Brandon Ayuk throws a touchdown pass to George Kittle. That is my prediction. I cannot wait for it. If it happens, I'm going to go absolutely crazy. Can you imagine if Brandon Ayuk throws a touchdown pass to Deebo Samuel? Holy moly. It's going to be the celebration with the mic'd up on that. It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. Throwback says, make sure you hit that like button, Faithful. Appreciate it. Absolutely. Please hit that like button. We want to grow this YouTube channel. So please, any bit helps. Anthony says, Anthony says, Ayuk's turn to throw a touchdown. I like it. That's what I think. At this point, Kyle might throw a tutty. Yeah, Julius, let's see. He says, thoughts on the Khalil Mack interview. I haven't got to post about it yet, but this was insane. He talked about it today. I don't remember who was interviewing him, but I saw the clip. Khalil Mack, I don't know if you guys saw this, but when he was getting, shipped out a couple years back, and being traded, the biggest offer that Khalil Mack was going to get was from the Niners. This is what he says. He said the 49ers had the most lucrative offer, but Chicago wasn't sending him to San Francisco. They didn't want to send him to the Niners. They knew that, the Niners are NFC division. You can't send them interdivision, or interconference. Sorry, interconference. So Khalil Mack ended up not going to the Niners, although he had the height. He says they probably had the best offer. That's crazy. When a player can't really dictate where they want to go, they get sent to wherever the team is going to send them to, for the better picks or whatever the case is, draft picks, players. But if the 49ers had it their way, they would have got Khalil Mack on this defense. Could you imagine the defense with Khalil Mack on them with the Niners? It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It happens. I mean, I wish that he would have been able to control his destiny, because Khalil Mack on the Niners would have been crazy. But I think it would have been amazing. So that's what I think. I know that was a good question. Steven Reynolds, let's go back to the Rams game. He predicts that Brock Purdy gets 4 passing touchdowns. Ayuk for 2, Kittle and CMC. Deebo gets 1 rushing touchdown. Holy moly. Steven Reynolds, 4 passing touchdowns for Brock Purdy. That's a lot of points. And a rushing touchdown for Deebo. I love it. Anthony says, throw Fred in at quarterback for 1 play and have him throw a touchdown to Kittle. Could you imagine? I don't think he could do that, but that'd be fun. Trent Williams, I think everybody wants to see Trent Williams score a touchdown. We've been waiting for Trent Williams to get a score, right? Mario says, I predict Trent Williams catches a touchdown. If this happens, I will be oh my God, I will be so hyped if he gets this. We've been waiting for Trent Williams to get the tutty for a long time. It might happen. Maybe Brandon Ayuk throws it to Trent Williams. That's all I want to see. That's all I want to see. Anthony says, Juice is due for a tutty. I agree. I would love to see Kyle Juszczyk get a touchdown. Let's see if Kyle Juszczyk can get a tutty on Sunday. That would be nice. Let's see. Predictions. I got Nick Bosa getting 2 sacks this week. He finally practiced, with the Niners, and I think he's getting back up to speed. I think Bosa's going to get 2 sackaroonies. I think Drake will still get 1 too. I think Drake Jackson's going to have 1. Bosa will get 2. I think Hargrave will have 1. So what's that? 2, 3, 4. I got 4 sacks by them. And then maybe throwing in for Armstead or Clelin Ferrell. I got about 5 sacks right there for the Niners. I think Talanoa Hufanga gets a pick. I think Fred Warner might have a pick, right? I think Fred Warner might have a pick. It might be close for Mooney Ward. We'll see. Mooney Ward's been locked down. I don't know if they're going to want to throw to Mooney Ward. He's been pretty damn good against the Rams, since he came in last year. He was PBU machine last year. So I think Talanoa Hufanga is going to get another interception. I got Brandon Ayuk throwing a touchdown to Deebo. I got Brock Purdy dropping 2 touchdowns in the air. I think he's going to throw 1 to Kittle, and I think he's going to throw 1 to maybe another 1 to Brandon Ayuk. Maybe Brandon Ayuk gets another 2. So Kittle, Ayuk will snag a touchdown, and we know Christian McCaffrey will probably run 1 in at some point. So we shall see. I do want to see Trent Williams get a touchdown, and I want him to get a ring before he retires. He deserves it. Absolutely, Christine. We all want Trent Williams to get that ring. Swaggy says, any news on Dre Greenlaw? He's good to go. He came back to practice yesterday. He's a full participant today. He was a full participant in practice. Dre Greenlaw is good. The only player that's expected to miss tomorrow is Sam Womack because he has the MCL injury. I need to take care of this fire alarm that's going off. I'll be right back. Wait for 30 seconds. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. I had to take care of that the fire alarm, the battery's messed up, but I'm moving, so I like really don't care to fix it. They'll deal with it when I move out of here. So I don't care. They're gonna deal with it. But it is annoying sometimes to hear that. So yeah, it's a sign. Ayuk, Ayuk is on fire. Do you notice that? We talked about Ayuk and the fire alarm comes on. But we'll see. Where were we? Where were we? Touchdowns, predictions, predictions. What do you guys think about the 49ers offense? Who's scoring? How's Brock Purdy doing? Brock Purdy looked amazing last week. He looked like he didn't lose a step at all. We knew Brandon Ayuk, he looked like wide receiver one. Will they continue to develop that chemistry? And I think they're only going to get better together. Now, the key to the Niners winning this game, though, is not just the offense. They got to get the firepower, which I feel like they will. It's hard to stop the 49ers offense, but they got to get more. They got to be able to stop the Rams, right? They have to stop Matt Stafford. They have to pressure him, just like they pressured Kenny Pickett last week. One of the reasons why the 49ers were so dominating is because Kenny Pickett always had a man in his face last week, and he had no time to throw. When the 49ers play these drop back passers, they typically are relentless with the pressure, and these guys usually can't get the ball out. So I feel like that's what the Niners have to do. They have to continue to develop pressure, be relentless, and just keep pushing at Matt Stafford. Make him sick, the pressure. Remember a couple years back when his wife was on the radio and she said, "We couldn't hear a thing. The Niner fans are too loud." We need to make that stadium just drowned out with Niner fans. Let's go, Niners. That's what needs to happen, because Stafford was befuddled. He was so shook. He couldn't think straight. That's what the Niners need to do, is just make him not think straight. Send Jackson, send Bosa, send Hargrave, send Armstead, send Clelin Ferrell at his neck. And Matt Stafford will not be able to breathe. Yeah. Anthony says, for coming off elbow surgery, Purdy looks amazing. I mean, that's the thing, man. People don't realize he still has a lot of disrespectful people to him, a lot of haters, a lot of people discrediting him and don't believe in him. He's coming off an elbow surgery, ladies and gentlemen. The fact that he's looking that crisp, that clear, it's amazing to me. Like, I don't care if he doesn't have the arm strength that he doesn't have arm strength, he can't throw deep. But he executes the offense to perfection. He gets the ball out when it needs to be, let out. He looks at the defense. He can figure out where his receivers are going to be, puts the ball where it needs to be, and he executes flawlessly. I don't care if he can't throw it 70 yards, but if he can throw if he can throw successfully to the Yak brothers and they can get the ball in space and operate, then we're fine. And that's what the 49ers offense is all about. You have a point guard delivering them the football. And I love it. And I love Purdy for it. Purdy has one touchdown, at least maybe two, says Christine. I think he's got two touchdowns coming up. Trent Williams rushing touchdown would be fun. Another key the 49ers need to do, obviously we got to pressure Matt Stafford, but they got to cut those penalties down. Last week was a penalty fest. I know that they won and they still dominated, but they could have dominated more if they didn't have the penalties. And the Rams, they can pick up and key on these penalties. The Rams know the 49ers. It's a division rivalry. You don't want to give them extra chances. You don't want to give them, second life, especially with a player like Aaron Donald. You can't give them chances. You can't give Matt Stafford chances. Although the 49ers, have better, players on their team, a better offense, it looks like on paper, and we all know that they do. Matt Stafford's still a good quarterback, and you cannot give that man chances. So you have to make clean plays, clean stops. You can't have any, turnovers. Obviously, you don't want to have turnovers, but you can't have these tic-tac penalties. That's what killed them last week. Spencer Burford, Lenore. There were some really bad penalties. And if the Steelers were a little bit of a better team and they, had a better quarterback, they probably would have been able to take advantage and make the game a little bit closer. But obviously, the 49ers were just so dominant, they couldn't. But the 49ers defense was able to stuff Kenny Pickett, and that pressure got to him. But Matt Stafford, he's a little better than Kenny Pickett. Well, maybe a lot better than Kenny Pickett. So he can, take advantage of penalties. And the 49ers have to limit these penalties. A lot of bad penalties last week, specifically that Deommodore Lenoir one. That one stuck out the most, man. And again, it gave them the chance to put points on the board last week. Can't let the Rams do that, because this is a division game, and they'll take advantage. They beat Seattle last week, and if they can get a lead on the 49ers, McVay's a good enough coach to, play keep away with the ball. So let's not give the opponent more opportunities. That's the worst thing you could do in football. Obviously, turnovers, suck because it gives the opponent more opportunities. But penalties, man, you cannot give teams second chances. So that is definitely a key. And then the elephant in the room, the biggest key, in my opinion, is the right side of the offensive line for the 49ers. Who is going to be able to stop Aaron Donald? You think he's running towards Trent Williams and Aaron Banks? Absolutely not. Those two guys are a solid duo on that left side. Nobody wants to run towards Trent Williams, Aaron Banks. The Niners are going to run towards that side. They're going to run to the left, run behind Trent, run behind Trent. We know they're going to do that, but they're not. The Rams are going to try to force everything to the right. Okay, it is a little bit of a concern so far. I know it's 1 week, but Colton McKivitz, Spencer Burford, they just don't have that chemistry right now. Last week, Burford was making penalties, and McKivitz was getting crushed. You know, the Colton McKivitz was getting pushed around by T.J. Watt. Unfortunately, it's an unfortunate situation that happened, but he's got to get better because Aaron Donald's coming to town. Aaron Donald's tough, man. And, the 49ers were able to neutralize Aaron Donald in the past by double teaming him, chipping him out, using George Kittle. Not only that, but they had a man by the name of Dan Brunskill. Dan Brunskill was so underrated. He was a Swiss Army knife offensive lineman, so underrated for this team. But him and Aaron Donald had some beautiful matchups through the years. And we know Dan Brunskill was able to neutralize Aaron Donald. And unfortunately, Brunskill's not walking through those doors, ladies and gentlemen. He's not. And it's, going to be a test for Spencer Burford and Colton McKivitz. That, to me, is the biggest, X factor for the 49ers. If they can't stop Aaron Donald, they're going to keep him. Aaron Donald is going to help this team, the Rams team, stay in place. And the Niners have to be able to neutralize. They have to be able to neutralize Aaron Donald. He's tough, man. He's a good player. As we want to sit here and talk trash about the Rams, whatever the case is. You got to give Aaron Donald his credit. His credit. He's a great player. He's one of the best defensive players I've ever watched. He's dominant, man. But the 49ers know how to play him. They know how to scheme against him. And they're going to have to scheme their butts off. Aaron Donald is going to be a tough one for this right side of the line. Yeah, we're going to miss Daddy Brunskill, says Stephen Reynolds. We absolutely will. So, yeah, I expect Donald to attack McKivitz and Burford the entire game. I don't even think he's going to spend time on the left side. If I'm Sean McVay, I'm sending Aaron Donald right to the right all day. If the 49ers can block Aaron Donald and hold him at bay, there's no problem. Should be good. And I think the 49ers, again, I think they end up taking care of business. The Rams will stay close a little bit at the beginning of the game, but turnovers are going to be the big difference. And I feel Talanoa Hufanga will get a big interception. I feel a Fred Warner one coming. I just do. I feel he was so close on like 4 plays last week to an interception. The tip led to a pick. He had his hands on almost a couple different passes that should have been a pick. I think it's going to be 33-17 49ers, and I think the turnovers will be the key. I think Brock Purdy is going to have another efficient game, 2 to 3 touchdowns again, like I said. So it's going to be a fun one, man. I expect a win for the 49ers, and then they got to turn around real quick, and they have the Giants on Thursday Night Football. So my biggest concern is, making sure they can get through this game without any injuries, because that short turnaround on Thursday Night Football is rough, man. I'm not hyped about that. I don't like Thursday night games. I'll be at the Thursday night game. Like, I'm excited I'm going to that Giants game, but I just don't like Thursday night games, man. They just don't sit well with me. So we'll see. My man Steven says, let's not forget Debo's still there as Aaron Donald daddy. Yeah, we might not have Brunskill. The 49ers have a man named Debo Samuel. And Debo Samuel, historically against the Rams, he absolutely cooks them. I don't know if, Debo Samuel has put this team on his back against the Rams, man. There's never been a more dominating player against a rival in the last decade or so since Debo Samuel. He absolutely crushes the Rams, man. It's just unbelievable to watch. It's so crazy. He comes in and he changes the game. The Rams never have an answer for him. The one time that Debo was not able to impose his will, NFC Championship game, I don't know why Kyle wasn't giving him the ball. That's a whole nother story for another day in that second half. But Debo Samuel, man, is the key to this offense. especially against the Rams. And again, I have Brandon Ayuk throwing a touchdown pass to Deebo Samuel. Chef Deebo. Oscar says it's a red out. Anthony says Hufanga gets a pick, and I think Warner gets a fumble recovery. Okay, I like it. I like that. Warner's always doing the peanut punch. They're always punching the ball. He might. That's why he does boxing in the off season, right? I cannot wait for this game. I'm so excited, ladies and gentlemen. The 49ers, the Rams, Sunday. It's almost here. 2 more sleeps if you can sleep. And then we'll see what happens after that. 49ers hopefully are 2-0. If they beat the Rams, they'll be in first place in the division because they'll be undefeated in the division. So we'll see what happens. Big game. I feel like I don't want to say like a week 2 game is a must-win game, but I kind of feel like it is a must-win game just because there's a lot of hype. The 49ers are wearing red. They're kind of trolling the Rams. It's a SoFi Stadium. I mean, you don't want to go into that game, with all that expectation and lose the game. So in the sense of social media world, you kind of want the 49ers to win this game because if not, the fallout's going to be ugly. The memes are going to be bad. But in terms of overall season, I mean, it's week 2. I mean, it is what it is. But you don't want to see the 49ers lose a division game. Last year, they dominated the division, and I think they can do the same this week. My man, Juliet says, Kinlaw gets a sack this Sunday. I like it. I hope he does. If he does, you're getting the shout out after the game. Peter Parker says, every time we say those who should not be named, the R word, it says his daughters are booing. I love that. His daughters are amazing. He's raising them right. That is absolutely phenomenal. Every time we say the Rams, they're booing. The daughters are booing. Boo to the Rams. I love it. Anthony says any division game is a must-win. Absolutely. You can't lose these division games. You want to get ahead of these guys. You want to get that number 1 seed. And again, the 49ers, I think, need to get off to a hot start this year. So far, so good. Week 1. I think the Niners need to get off to a absolute scorching start because they got some tough games in the middle of the year. I think they can start 4-0. They win against the Rams. They win against the Giants. And then the Cardinals. That's 4-0 going into the game against the Dallas Cowboys. That would be a phenomenal start to the season. So Oscar says they definitely have to keep the ball rolling with the win. I agree. Who is starting for Womack? The question is, who's starting for Womack? We don't know yet. They'll announce tomorrow kind of who's going to replace him in the roster. My guess is going to be Quantrez Knight. He's on the practice squad. They have Trey Swillen, and then Shamar Jean-Charles is another guy on the practice squad. But if I'm a betting man, it's probably going to be Quantrez Knight. I don't know how much he plays on Sunday, but it's going to be a rotation. The 49ers are still trying to figure out who belongs in that nickel spot. So you might see Isaiah Oliver, Deommodore Lenoir, and Ambry Thomas get some rotation. I would love to see Quantrez Knight. Honestly, if I'm being dead honest with you, I think Quantrez Knight might be better than most of those guys other than Deommodore Lenoir. And if it's me, I'm going to go Deommodore Lenoir, Mooney Ward, and Quantrez Knight. Quantrez Knight is a hitter, man. He's got the hit stick, and he's pretty good in coverage. I had fun watching this guy in training camp these last 2 years. Please put Quantrez Knight in that roster tomorrow. That's what I think. Again, we'll have the news tomorrow. The news will probably drop at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific or around that time. That's typically when these roster moves get announced. They'll put Sam Womack on the short-term injured reserve, and they'll elevate a player from the practice squad. My guess is Quantrez Knight. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Any other questions? Any other concerns? We got a big game on Sunday, man, and I'm excited. I can't wait for this one. Again, my bold prediction for the week is going to be Brandon Ayuk throwing a touchdown to Deebo. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah, Oliver's probably going to get a lot of action in the mix, Steven. Oscar says Hargrave was a good trade from Rival. A good addition. It was a free agent signing. And, he was on the Richard Sherman podcast this week, and he talked to Richard Sherman. First off, he says, Kyle's tough, makes you watch a lot of film. And, he talked about how, attention to detail Kyle is. You got to love it. And he just doesn't, let these players have, time to get lazy and lackadaisical. And I like that about him. He says Kyle's a savant on the film, and I like that. And then he says, when it came down to it, the offense, the 49ers offered him a lot of money. And he says, I'm a free agent. Obviously, I want to go chase the money. But typically in this situation, right, you say you're going to only get these big offers from teams that aren't winning. You're going to go from these lower rung teams that want to get a big free agent to kind of up the roster. He says when he saw that the 49ers were the team that was offering the amount of money they were, he was like, that's crazy to go from a contending team to a contending team and still be able to have a phenomenal team around you. So and still be able to get paid at a high amount of money. So he said it was like a dream situation. He goes, that doesn't necessarily happen all the time. So yeah, Hargrave coming to the Niners has been a success so far. I love that guy. I think he's just a monster in the middle, and I think he's only going to make this defense better and better every week. Just like CMC, man. CMC was so clutch for this offense, and now Hargrave, we're seeing just how good this guy is. And you put him on this offense or this defensive line, it's almost unstoppable, man. Whew, love it. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's it for tonight. I might hop into Instagram a little later. I need to get something to eat. I am hungry. That's Friday's show for you tonight. Prediction. Again, I have the 49ers beating the Rams 33 to 13. Sorry, 33 to 13 was my final score prediction. And we'll see what happens. You guys have a good rest of your night. Have a good weekend. Enjoy Sunday against the Rams. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you tell all your friends and your enemies that our SF 49ers has moved. We are our SF 49ers live. And we are going to be trying to post as much as we can on this YouTube. Build it up. I appreciate you guys so much. I love you. Have a good night. Have a good weekend. Let's go Niners. Let's be back on Sunday after the game. You know we're going to be back after the game live, talking all about it. And hopefully we're talking about a dub and not an L. You guys have a good one.